Hello viewers and potential subscribers, you're watching Unknown Emerald, and welcome to part 2 of my Destiny suit of armor made out of steel. In this episode, the title says it all, I have made the Anti-Extinction helmet. And here it is, the Anti-Extinction helmet from Destiny 2. The reason why I chose this helmet over any other helmets in the Destiny universe is because it doesn't have too many curves, plus it looks pretty darn badass. So I'm not really too experienced with working with metal, and I don't have that many tools at my disposal. All I have is an angle grinder to make straight cuts on a sheet of steel, and that's it. And with this thing, it has a few curves over here on the upper layer, but nothing outside of that, and of course the curves around this section. But the only thing I wouldn't be able to make are dome structures. So a lot of helmets in the Destiny universe have dome structures, so they're a bit more like a football shape, if that makes any sense. And with this, since it's just a simple shape bent to the side, I was able to make it fairly easily. It did take me a lot of trial and error, but of course I didn't use steel to begin with. And I would use patterns such as these. So we have cardboard over here, I have paper, and then what I would do is I would trace this onto the steel and then have a nice and beautiful cutout of the faceplate just out of steel. And then the way I curved it, the edge of my desk, I didn't have any incredible tools like an anvil or I don't know what you'd be able to use to even bend metal without any industrial equipment. So all I was using was just the edge of my desk and a lot of pressure of me just going, I can do it. It was tough, but I was able to get there in the end, and all of the curves that you see in this helmet over here, I have done in just that way. Now, another thing you may have noticed is the headphone, and if I turn the helmet to the other side, you also notice, I believe this will be like a battery pack for the helmet, and I didn't have anything, nothing existed in this world that looked like this, and this specifically. Well, things existed, definitely existed, but I would have to pay like 100 quid for it, which I mean, I wasn't gonna do. So what I did over here is I actually made a sculpt of the headphone and then a mold for it. So I'm gonna show you guys this process real quick. So the way I did the headphones is I actually made a sculpture of them first, and then used silicone to make a silicone mold of it, and casted it out of something called fast cast. It's an epoxy resin, which is a 2-part epoxy resin, and it just, once you mix it, it turns itself into this plastic that you see over here. And then I painted it. I did a little foam thing over here for the headphone, so in between the actual steel and this, you'd have a piece of foam just to kind of replicate the padding area that you put on your ear, for example. And then you have the antenna over here. This is actually a paintbrush which I just cut. An old paintbrush, of course, I wouldn't waste a new one. And then on the other side of the helmet, what I have is the Dead Orbit logo. So the logo, I actually just cut a lot of stencils and stuck the stencils on the side and just painted over it. So I would have a few layers over here. So there'll be the white layer, then a grey layer, then a white layer again. So you know, it wasn't too difficult to do. I think white works pretty well because it stands out from the grey and the black, and because I want my whole armor to have the same color scheme. And over here I have my ACDO feedback fence gauntlets, so I wanted to keep the same color scheme as I had over here onto my helmet, and I want to have the same thing throughout my entire armor. So in the next video, when I make the chest piece and then the leg pieces, I'm going to continue making the same color pattern, of course. And I also have orange over here, so this lights up, and I have the eyes on my Anti-Extinction helmet orange, and yes, they do light up. I have a switch inside of the helmet and it lights up. You can't see it through over here in the video. I'm definitely going to be putting some photos or another video over the top of this so you guys can see exactly how it lights up in the dark. It's not too bright because I wanted to be able to look outside of the helmet, and there could have been a different method for me to do this without making my vision too blurred from the inside, but I think being able to see out of the helmet is a little bit important when you walk around the convention. And with this thing being made out of steel, I didn't want to have another thing to worry about, so I made the vision as clear as possible for me to not inconvenience myself during the walk in the convention. So I'll have this thing that weighs 1.5 kilos on my head, I don't want to have the vision blurred out any more than it has to be. So the lights still work, and I think the lights don't have to be any brighter than what they are over here. And it turns on. And I'll just quickly put the helmet on. So when I wear the helmet, it doesn't like fly around. Usually when you have something as heavy as this and you like spun your head too quickly, the whole helmet will go like all the way around, so it look like you snapped your neck or something. But the padding on this helmet is actually pretty solid, so I just used foam to pad the inside of this helmet, and foam is the best thing for padding. I did the exact same thing for my ACDO feedback gauntlets, and it works out just fine. And if I were to remove the padding, what you would see is this entire mechanism of bolts and like all the lights and cables. Well, not so much cables as it's just like a couple of cables for the lights to go from the eyes to the battery pack over here that's at the chin. But the bolts would have been unimaginably painful to have to deal with if I didn't have any padding. So padding, the most important thing when you make a steel suit of armor. Now, one more thing I want to mention, because I chose to use orange as the lights for my ACDO feedback fence gauntlets, those also light up by the way, I wanted to have the orange color scheme kind of like blended in throughout the entire costume. So for the eyes, for this helmet for example, I chose to have orange. I'll have orange filaments somewhere around the chest piece as well, around the waist and the legs. And I think orange fits very well with the black and grey color scheme. And I also have all of these bolts that add towards this aesthetic of this armor, and I just cannot wait until I finish the whole thing. So far I have my gauntlets finished, I have my helmet finished, I made a start on my chest and my legs, and I think realistically the next video I will have out in about 3 or so months, mainly because I'm working full-time right now, so I don't have too much time to work on my armor. But I hope that doesn't discourage you from subscribing to this channel, liking this video, and joining my Discord, because on my Discord, it's a new Discord, so I don't have too much going on over there right now. But if more people start joining up, I'll be uploading more and more screenshots to my Discord and showing you guys the progress of my armor, and maybe even make a community where I look at other people's armors, other projects and such. So if you're interested in that, the link for my Discord will be in the description below, so give it a look and we'll see if we can get a few more people in there and make it a little bit more lively. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you guys will stick around for the next video, and until then, I will see you guys next time. So see you.